Cek satu.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ad America, the U.S. Embassy's American Center, the place to learn more about American culture. My name is Aldi Rashid. I am one of the e-guides here at Ad America, and I will be your host for today's event. And now you are watching Fulbright U.S. ASEAN Scholarship Opportunities for You. Ladies and gentlemen, Sobat America watching at home, today we are so grateful to have four Fulbright scholars from four different ASEAN countries as speakers who will share their insight and experience for all of us today. Before we begin, I have a question of the day for our online audience. And the question is, when was the first Fulbright program established? Is it A, in 1946, B, 1950, C, 1960, or D, 1965? Those of you with the correct answer will get a shout out at the end of the event. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear opening remarks from the Public Affairs Officer, U.S. Mission to ASEAN. Please welcome Jason Seymour.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone here who's live, and thank you everyone who's tuning in to learn more about the Fulbright program. As you know, the United States government and the American people are very interested in the future of Southeast Asians. And we want to have a very special relationship with you. We want to invest in you. We want to help you attain your futures. And I have a personal interest in this. I'm the public affairs officer for the U.S. mission to ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And I relate so much to Southeast Asians who want to have a future that is better than their past, to seek out new opportunities. I grew up in a small town. My parents didn't have a lot of money, but I had dreams. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to go to university. I wanted to have an exciting career. And I knew that I had the intellectual capacity, but I wasn't sure where the opportunities were. So I was looking for every opportunity that existed. Part of the reason I was able to go to such a great university was because I found scholarships, I found people who wanted to help, I found organizations that wanted to help. I went on exchange programs, I went to Spain, I went to Brazil, and I found so many people who wanted to help young, smart, motivated people like myself. And we want to be that entity for all of you. We want to help you to attain your dreams and make contributions in academic fields and professional fields. That's why we have so many opportunities. So I'm so glad that you are here today or you've tuned in today, because Fulbright is a very special program. I won't tell you how long it's been around, because then I would spoil the little quiz that we just had. So I'll keep that a secret. But Fulbright has been around for a very long time. It's a very special opportunity that lets Americans come to Southeast Asia to do research here, or support Southeast Asians to do research in the United States. It really is very special. That's why we have speakers here today to go into the details about the program. But the main thing that I want you to know is that as an American and a representative of the US government, we really do care about your future. We want to work with you. We want to give you opportunities. So please become a member of YSEALI, the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. Follow the social media accounts, either of the U.S. mission to ASEAN, or your countries, or the U.S. mission to your country. And do the research, look into the programs, because there is some way that we could help you, and we want to help you. So thank you so much. I will pass back the mic.
Thank you, Pa Jason, for the wonderful opening remarks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our moderator for today. She is the Public Engagement Specialist at the U.S. Embassy in Singapore. Please welcome Tessa Tham.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction. As Aldi mentioned, my name is Tessa, and I work at the U.S. Embassy in Singapore, and I work on the Fulbright program. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you today to hear from our alumni about this program, and I hope you find this session very informative. So we have a really exciting session lined up for you, but before that, I want to thank everyone online for showing up, and I want to thank all of you in the audience for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this session. And I want to give a shout out to the universities that are present here, Binus University and Sapuna University. Woo! So yeah, we have an exciting program lined up. So we'll hear from 4 Fulbright alumni about their experience. And after their presentations, we'll move into a short Q&A session. So if you have any questions for these scholars during their presentations, do take note of them, remember them so that you can ask them right at the end. So without any further ado, can I please invite the 4 speakers on stage, please? Maybe you can just stand here and so you can give a short introduction. So maybe you can tell them your name and the country that you're from.
Jennifer Oreta from Philippines.
Oh, I'm Andre from Indonesia.
My name is Wahida from Malaysia.
My name is Sanyapet, or you can call me Sanya.
All right, can we have a round of applause for our speakers today? So without any further ado, I would like to invite our first presenter. Sorry, Jennifer. So I'll pass the time over to you.
All right. Good afternoon. Is this working? Okay. Just to make sure that you are with me, just very quick before I start, if I say hi, you should answer me hello. If I say hello, you should answer me hi. Get it? Hi? Hello? All right. Okay. You're with me. So I did my Fulbright in post-COVID. No, that was a very, very challenging period. We were supposed to leave first quarter. It was pushed to the second quarter and the third quarter. So we finally were able to leave during the fourth quarter. So I did mine in 2021. Okay, I think this is on there. My research is on security and terrorism. How many of you have experienced the security check upon entering the building? Let me see some show of hands. Security check where you put your bag and then it was x-rayed. All of us did, right? And that is because of the threat of terrorism. And the reason why the focus of my discussion or the focus of my research really was on how the different security institutions in select Southeast Asian countries, the countries are there, al- um, uh, aligning their policies and programs in addressing the threat of terrorism. Did you know that as early as 1999, you were not probably even born yet, some of these terrorist organizations have already met to create or to dream of the Southeast Asian Caliphate. No? So they are already thinking of an alliance in the Southeast Asia. But among the countries in Southeast Asia, we are the governments are actually behind. So my interest really is to look into the policies of the different countries and how we are actually aligning our policies and programs with regard to the issue of responding to the threat of terrorism. But that's the nerdy part of the discussion. Now, let me now go to the, so I was hosted by the, is this the pointer there? I was hosted by the George Mason University. It's a special unit called Terrorism, Transnational Crime, and Corruption Center. I don't need to explain why I targeted that center, no? And I was, and they gave me they highlighted my participation in their center in the website of the track, no? So it was part of the George Mason University, but we were not part of the main campus. We were further out, no, in the Maryland area. So this is where we are. The track office, because it was pandemic, all of us are masking, no? And the track office was doing a project then with the State Department. So the security was a little tight. So the office is locked. This is my professor, no? She's Dr. Shelley. The office is locked. We were given keys, no? And my work area is this, no? This is the office of my supervisor. She gave me this table, and she's not practically not going to her office, so that entire office actually is mine. I took a picture of this. I find it so fascinating. It's in the Mason University. They are delivering food on campus, unmanned. So I don't know if we have that now in Southeast Asia. But I find it really fascinating that they know where to go, where the areas, no, the spots in the campus, no, where the person who ordered the food is. And that's the campus of the George Mason. Now, how did I find residents? It was actually one of the challenging, I think for the other Fulbrighters also. No, I spent a lot of time determining where I will be staying for 3 months. Now, the U.S. ASEAN program is a 3 to 4 month short stay in the United States, and you are really expected to do research. So I need to find a very comfortable space where I can really do my research. I initially entertained co-living spaces, but my difficulty there is that a lot of the students who I will be living with are young people like you. I think I'm as old as your parents, so it might have some problem if we live together. No? So there are no dormitories available in the university. I was open to everything. So the last resort that I entertained was Airbnb. No? And I found that there are Airbnb hosts that allow long-term stay. So I spent, this is my room. It's actually a very nice room. No? It's a furnished room, and the host charged me only $1,000 per month, which is really very, very reasonable. And she allowed me to use the kitchen to cook. No? The first few weeks in the US, I was living on Safeway, microwavable type of food. I know you know that, no? But after some time, you get fed up with a lot of this processed food. So she allowed me to cook, and in fact, no, she's a Korean American. She even allowed me to use all her uh, condiments, soy sauce, and Koreans, they have so an entire cabinet of condiments, and she allowed me access to all of that. The house this is the house I was living in. Behind the house is a mini park where we can walk and exercise, ruminate, reflect, no, on the why we are here, that kind of thing. And the community where we are living actually is a very, I call it a progressive, no, area. I took a picture of one of the houses. They have this. They have this in front of their house. No? So I was actually very impressed with that community. Now, what were the major challenges while I was there? The COVID, no? When we were allowed to leave, COVID and the lockdown was actually easing up, and then the Delta strain came in. No? So the university actually was entertaining already a full face-to-face type of engagement, but they had to rescind that decision and went back to the hybrid. No? And because of that, there were no major or big activities happening in the university. Most of the activities are online. We have had two events where it was face-to-face, but we were masked. My major difficulty is that if I am wearing a mask, it's very difficult to breathe. No? So after maybe about 5 minutes talking and lecturing, I can't breathe anymore. No? So it was a major challenge for me. Now, what was the major helpful factors? And it really was a major contributory to my research. It was the library in DC. All the universities are linked up. And we are also linked up with the Library of Congress. So even wherever I am, even if I'm just based in Mason, I can access the library of the other universities in DC. So that's actually a very, very cool, no? Very, very cool arrangement. The Zoom interviews was also useful because you are in the comfort of your room, but you also can utilize, no, maximize the time, no, while doing the interviews. Food. As I've said, I was living on, microwavable, but food in the U.S. is not very healthy. I think it's no secret, no? So after some time of eating out, no, I found that the groceries have a huge assortment of Asian food. There's also a lot of restaurants that offer Asian food, no? So there are expensive restaurants, there are inexpensive. So you just need to be very smart in looking for, the areas where you can eat out. That's the kind of food that I was enjoying there. No? So I cook my own food. No? As I've said, no, my host allowed me to cook, so I experimented. So if it's good, then it's good for me. But if it's bad, I don't have a choice but to eat it as well. No? I have the house. I forgot to mention that the house that I was in, we are all long-term. We are all long-term renters. No? So my housemate was a Japanese and an intelligence officer at Langley. So there are three of us, and then the other room was for the the transient, no, renters. No? And my Japanese housemate, every Friday he would cook his rice, he would cook his viand and then put them all in the freezer so that he will just, cook them later or microwave them later. Travel and mobility, train and buses. No, it's important that we know where they are. Uh, and the Google Map actually is also very helpful for me, no? Because I walk a lot, so I need to make sure that I will be able to get back where I came from. These are the 80% of my time was actually devoted on research. I was invited to give lectures, participate in the activities of the center, but as I've said, no, mostly the lectures. This one is face to face. This one is web, no, web based. Now, post Fulbright, what did I do? Am I finished with my research? No. 4 months is not enough to complete the research, but I was able to break my research into chewable pieces, and I was able to do some publications. So one chapter here in this book, this is a Scopus research. One chapter I contributed. Online, I also contributed an article, for example, on the defense and cooperation of the Philippines on security, article on maritime terrorism threat in Southeast Asia, a chapter on women, peace, and security in the Naval War College, and also a chapter on the security sector reform. So in other words, the research will allow you to produce different kinds, no? The important thing to remember always as a scholar is that we are all public intellectuals. So it is our responsibility to not only publish on index journals, but also all kinds of platforms where we can share the findings of our research. So these are some of the activities that benefited partly, not directly, unlike the previous slide of my work. I'm part of, I know that I'm extending, no? So I'm part of a team that actually is doing a multi-country study on the perception of peace. So this is led by the Giga Foundation in Germany, and we are also putting together a book project also in the Philippines. I'm teaching, I'm back in the university teaching. After the Fulbright, I developed a course on military and security. I'm also the head now of the Global and Area Studies in the Ateneo de Manila University. I continue my research on security sector reform, on terrorism, on maritime security. And remember, and this is for my fellow Fulbright, no? Being a beneficiary of the Fulbright is a big privilege that we need to give back to our own country. And that actually is the greatest motivation why I continue to do outreach and consultancy. A lot of things are given to us, a lot of privilege has been given us, so we need to make sure that we give back to our country. So this is the reason why I continue to do a lot of consultancy work. And that is the end of my presentation. I'm sorry if I extended a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for your presentation. I hope it was insightful for all of you. I know it was for me. So without any further ado, I would like to pass it on to our second presenter for today, Andre from Indonesia.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it working?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So my name is Andre. I am from Bali, Indonesia. And I also grantee of Fulbright U.S ASEAN Visiting Scholar Initiative. I'm in the same batch with Jennifer. We are the COVID batch. Yeah, so it's really hard for us. And I'm an associate professor of Universitas Mas Saraswati Denpasar, if you ever heard of. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Firstly, I will talk about my research. My research is titled Designing Learning Trajectory Based on What-If Question to Improve Student Mathematical Thinking Ability. So I'm basically a mathematics education lecturer. How many of you love mathematics? All of you, right? Yeah, I know, in the bottom of your heart. Okay, so the idea of my research is that human development to date is not only because of our effort to solve our problem, but also we challenge that problem. As an example, we back then, in the old time, people have the difficulty in communicating in a long way. We have a phone, but now we have a smartphone. That's because we challenge the problem. We want to like infuse the function of computer into our phone. Okay, and this is my host institution. I get Western Michigan University as my host institution, and it's located in the small city of Kalamazoo. Yeah, if you have ever heard of Kalamazoo, it's a small city, but it's really compact and really beautiful. And my university was established in 1903, and also for around 147 degree program and others. And my supervisor is from mathematics department. And yes, how I find this host institution is actually I got the recommendation from my friend that pursue his PhD at the WMU. Okay, so this is my research roadmap. I began this research in 2019. Actually, I have developed the what-if design, and also I developed the ethnomathematics. I have talked to Jason yesterday about ethnomathematics, the cultural mathematics. So we found that our culture, yeah, we know that Indonesia rich of culture. We found that our culture is actually contain the concept of mathematics. So like every day actually we are doing math, but we not realize it. Okay, and then the roadmap, my project right now is to develop my design not only limited to mathematics but also to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, yes, this is my experience when I'm moving to the US. Actually, this is like funny experience for me because before I get this scholarship, I never been abroad before. So I've never traveled to the country outside Indonesia, and US is my first country that I visit outside Indonesia. And yeah, for sure, I'm really sad. I'm really sad that time because I need to leave my family. I need to leave my wife, even only for 4 months. But yeah, but with the help of the Fulbright of the U.S. mission to ASEAN, yeah, it's really they are really helpful. Okay, so right now I will explain couple of things. The first is what to prepare, the adaptation, and the university life. Yeah, okay. This is my picture in my campus because they asked me to put a lot of picture. So I find the picture that I thought this picture will the best. Okay. Okay, the first thing what we need to prepare is the first one is the J1 visa. Don't worry for this. After you get the scholarship, the U.S. mission to ASEAN and also the AMINEP Fulbright will help you with this visa. But if I'm not mistaken, after we get this visa, we are not allowed to back to the U.S. for 2 years. So we need to wait for 2 years so we can back to the U.S. And then the flight ticket also, they will help us a lot. Other document, the affiliate form, the export control, the S2019. This is the document that I get. Medical form, vaccine certificate, because I am the COVID batch. Yeah, just like Jennifer. And then for the housing, this is really interesting because I also get the same experience as Jennifer. Actually, I live in the American people house. So like I rent a room for 600, if I'm not mistaken, 600 a month. Yeah, 600 a month. I rent one room in the house, and then yeah, it's really hard for me. Actually, I have prepared for looking for the apartment 2 or 3 months before my departure, but it's really hard to find an apartment that allow us to rent less than 1 year, right? Yeah, or 1 semester. So yeah, maybe that will be a challenge for us. And then, yeah, I bring my money in case I bring enough money for at least 1 week before I depart to the US. And the other things, I prepare the medicine, food, clothes. And if you are Indonesian, this is my advice, and I really mind it. If you are Indonesian, you need to bring tolak angin and yeah, minyak kayu putih. That's a must. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then the weather. Yeah. I came to the US in the September to December. So I have experienced the fall weather and also the winter. Yes. The spring is around March to May, and then the summer, June to August. And the fall will be around September to November, the winter, December to February. And the winter is really cold. I've never experienced the weather that cold before. Yeah, the winter is in my country, in my city, in Kalamazoo, the winter, the coldest temperature is almost minus 22 degrees. Yeah, and I have experienced minus 10 degrees. So that's not the peak of winter. The peak of winter is in February, I think, February or March. Okay, and what about the transportation? Basically, in my campus, if you are as a student there, you will get a free pass for the bus. So you can use the bus everywhere you want to go without any payment. Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, the university life, the neighborhood and culture. Yeah, in general, I can say that the US people is really friendly, really nice, and they also tend not to interfere in other people's affairs. But some place may be dangerous. Yeah, some place may be dangerous. You need to keep yourself to visit the place that seem not to be dangerous in the US. Yeah, but yeah. In general, US is it's good experience to be in US. And how about living costs? Yes, I also have same opinion with Jennifer. It's really tricky actually. You can spend as much money as you can. If you love to go to the restaurant for the breakfast, lunch or dinner, you will spend a lot of money. But if you're cook, you can save your money. Yeah, I personally will spend around 800 to 850 a month, 600 for the housing, and 250 for the food. Yeah, and what food I eat when I'm in the US? Mostly rice. So I stay in the US, I still eat Indonesian food, mostly rice. Yeah, we can easily find rice in the US. Okay, this is the benefit that you can get after you get the scholarship. You can still collaborate with your host institution with more project in the future. And you can also collaborate with your fellow scholars from all over the world. And you can also still have a good communication with the US mission to ASEAN and also the Fulbright. This will be really helpful. Okay, what I do now, yeah, upon my returning in 2022, I was immediately appointed as the head of education development in my university, of course. And I'm sorry, this is a typo. And I also promote as an associate professor. If you are not, if you doesn't know what is associate professor, is like one below the professor. Yeah, below the professor. Okay, and I became the youngest associate professor in my university. I'm 31 right now, and I projecting myself to become a professor before my 40. Yeah, before my 40. And and also preparing to pursue my PhD this year. So I plan to back to the WMU to get my PhD, and I also plan to apply for the Fulbright program for the PhD. Okay, this is more picture for bonus. Yeah, the first one is my neighborhood, and the second one is apple picking. Yeah, that's really fun experience. The third one, I have the chance to meet the Indonesian ambassador in the US. And the last one, yeah, that when I get selected as the head of education development in my campus. Okay, thank you. That's all my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre, for sharing your Fulbright experience and the opportunities that it afforded you, as well as some very practical tips on what to bring when you're in the States. So we turn now to our next presenter, Sayapet from Laos.
Hi everyone, I'm Sayapet from Laos. Today we are lucky to be here, and we have the young and the new scholar, and also from the online. I'm very happy to share my dream with all of you, because it took 6 hours to be here, and I have 10 minutes to talk to you. So I'm very happy. At this, I hope what I'm saying and presenting you will get some motivation to you, especially for the young and new scholars going to US very soon. May I introduce myself in the brief? I'm scholarship hunters. Since I was a child, I got scholarship. Yeah, since I was a child, I got scholarship from the government to study my undergraduate at the National University of Laos. And then after that, I got my post-diploma in Singapore for 6 months. After that, I got scholarship to do my master in Japan. This is the result of lifelong learning. I'm learning, I'm reading, and the result is that I got JDS scholarship to do my master degree in Hiroshima University. All my dream. After that, when I returned home, I worked for the government for a while. I applied for Erasmus Mundus scholarship in Europe. And then I got that from 2010 to 2015. I did my PhD in Portugal for almost 5 years. After I returned, I started my work at the National University of Laos until 2019. And then I went to remote areas to work with what we call Department of Education and Sport for almost 2 years to share my experience and to contribute my knowledge to the local province. And after return, I been to Thailand for 3 months. At that time, I applied for Fulbright visiting scholar for 4 months. My host university is Michigan State University. This is the outcomes of what I have been doing since I was a child. Now the agings of what we call lifelong learnings. If you want to be young, you have to read more, because you will know more. When you know more, it means that you will never old. Because knowledge is beyond our families, it's beyond our beloved ones. When we stay with our beloved ones, we will feel very happy, but one day we have to leave them because we need more knowledge and then adventure ourselves. That is the point. And my host university is Michigan. I went there the first day. I got the host family for 1 night stay. And the other night, I got my housings because international office provided me some information and details, and then I was lucky that only 1 day, then I got my place with, each month I pay only 500 US dollars. Yeah, I'm love cooking, so I cook. That's why what I say that the food in US is secure, because before imported food to US, they will have the checkpoint and secure all things. So that's what I mean. When we cook the food we love. And sometimes the taste is not good, but it's all finished because our cooking. That is I can do. Yeah, I went to many places beyond my study because 4 months visiting scholars, we have done something at home already. We have all data, we have all information. What you did, what we will do at the host university, just share your idea with your professor, with your expert from those university. Or sometimes we go to international conference or seminar under your host university. That is some experience. And luckily for me, I took my wife for 10 days to visit me. Yeah, to visit me. Actually, is not my wife yet here. My wife's here. Sorry. Yeah. We cook Lao food for them. This is my first host family homestay. The first night that I slept at his house, I'm very lucky and he's very happy. And this is the head of international office that gave me all details for the housings and all details. And this is what we call culture in the university. It depends on us. We will register which activity or events that we like. We have to find from the university website what the activity, what the events that we can join. Luckily, we have at the university, every Thursday, we have what we call coffee hours. That means coffee is free, cookie is free, and also even things that some gives give us for free. This is a good experience for me that I have shared. I did my butterfly. Yeah, is butterfly or what things? Yeah, I did and I learned from them. This is the communities, what we call in the period of coffee hour every Thursday at the university. My university is free for the bus, and also we have the filling waters and things that money can save. Because whatever we can, if we have the bottle of waters, we just fill at the university and bring to home. It depends. That is kind of what we can do. I experienced what we say a Mapfo Syrup Festival cooking, Lao food, and joining festival pizza dinner. This is my professor. He taught his kid cooking pizza for us, dinner pizza. He is an academic advisor for me at the university. And here is the showcase academic courses, showcase of my work, of my projects. And I went around the city. This is during my wife visited me in 10 days. Actually, it's 20 days to take her to be there, all traveling days, and also the day we enjoy together. And we visit our cousins in her cousin. This is her cousins in Nashville, but my cousin in Memphis. Memphis is Nashville as well. And then we visit Graceland, Elvis rock singer of America, Jackson Noel, right? I went there and we cook the food, share rings. And this my cousins. They live in Memphis, and we went to Florida. Along the way from Nashville, Memphis to Florida, my cousin drove me to Florida, and then I could see things more than what I have learned. And here, when I come back, the networking when returning home, I was appointed before I came back to Laos. Previously, I was Vice Dean of Faculty of Letters. Letters mean languages, including English, French, Latvian language, and we have 9 languages at our faculties. But before I came back to Laos, in May, I was appointed in 31st of March to be the Deputy Director General of the Department of Teacher Education at Ministry of Education and Sport in Laos. Now is my work as the DDG. Yeah, I work with all partners in Laos. This is kind of network with the World Banks, Plan International, and EU, UNICEF. This is kind of things that I have been doing, and then I share, and then I involve now. Here is more that for international events or conference I join. This is for the social communities, what we call book festival in Laos. I'm as not organizer, but the follower of what we say book festival in Laos since 1916. When I finished my PhD, I came back to Laos and I started to think about reading is very important for the young. So every province will start to have a book festival, and we have the young here. I'm so happy to be there to support them. Yeah, and this is what I have been doing. Now, my uniform as DDG, and my wife now in Northern Iowa University. Now she is learning English for 6 months to be the Fulbrighter, So we are Fulbright families. After 10 days, I asked her, would you like to come to USA? And then she just answered. When she saw the atmosphere of the campus, it's green and white. For Michigan State University, we go green, go white. That is the motto of the university. She loved the green and the white, and more university we visited. She felt that she loved to come. And then if you love to come, just apply. I will support you. Finally, she's now in US. This is my destination. Thank you so much for your listening.
Thank you, Sayapet, so much for your sharing. We now have our last speaker for today. Can we invite Wahida to share her presentation?
Thank you very much. Selamat siang, everyone. All right. Okay, I'm going to share my Fulbright experience as the Fulbright U.S. ASEAN scholar. So can you read this newspaper headlines? You understand? Okay, at least if you don't know Bahasa, you know that it's 130 kilometers, and there's a line, and there's the internet. So what does it imply? Problem with internet connectivity, right? So yeah, that is the issue, and that is the project that I brought for the Fulbright program. So that is my daughter, and I brought her to the US together with me to experience, and I cannot leave this opportunity not to bring her because she's quite fascinated about going to the US. Okay, when I was in the elementary school, I came from a very small town in Malaysia, and the town called Chukai, that means tax in English. And I made a joke whenever people ask where you come from, and I reply, oh, I come from Texas. And fortunately, the state that I come from, they have oils as well and petrochemicals. Then after I finished my undergraduate, I work for an oil and gas company, and I have a project with Union Carbide, another US company. And I never knew that I thought one day I'll be going to Texas, and also a small town called Victoria, which if I ask Americans, I can assure you that 90% don't know where Victoria is. So I come from a private university that focuses on energy, utilities. So we are fully funded by the company instead of government. And we only have 3 faculties: engineering, computer science, business. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm married, mother of 4. I'm fascinated about arts, telecommunication, of course, my area. And also, I love to talk about environment as well. I have finished my degree and PhD all the way in the UK. So I'm quite prone into the UK system education instead of America. So that's why I'm a bit fascinated about going to the US. And I involve a lot in volunteering work, such as development of the telecommunication standards. And they sponsor me to travel around the world to basically collect some data about telecommunications. And then that's how I get myself do some work for the International Telecommunication Union. So what is International Telecommunication Union? It's like United Nations, but specifically for telecommunication. Anyone who's doing degree in electronic here? No? So mostly you are doing in what kind of degree? Business? Humanities. Okay, so there's a lot of humanities in telecommunication as well. So I'm the author of Yes, I Can. You can find the book on the internet. And before Fulbright, I'm also like Dr. Zayan. I love to apply lots of sponsorship. And I managed to get a secure, and these are my collaborators. I believe in collaboration. I will not be able to do this project without collaboration. So do not afraid if you don't know things, because you can collaborate. Anytime you can collaborate and just ask for it. So you never know the opportunity that comes. So these are my founded lab, Integrated Intelligence Lab, and I focuses a lot of receive signal strength. Receive signal strength means that on your phone, if you have 5 bar, and suddenly it become 1 or 2 bar, so that shows that your internet is not good. Okay, and then marine communication and some vegetation. Vegetation means it's not farming, but it's more like the trees, because I quite like studies on environment. So here are the rural internet connectivity issues in Malaysia, and I believe these are not limited to Malaysia, but also in ASEAN. Okay, so these are the works that I did with the community, with my team, and there's another signal assessment. So I come from sort of like diverse background. I also design equipment for communication. Do you know modem, router? Yeah, so I also designed that thing and make a test on the real environment. So this is another internet community survey that I did, and so on. So this is in Borneo. So what I learned from the US, the new thing for me is about Digital Equity Act. So it's the new thing that I need to explore, which in Malaysia we are not yet that popular. So these are the landscape of the Southeast Asia broadband overview. So let's say Indonesia, 21.8%, and the 16% for the broadband penetration. Singapore, 101%. Malaysia is 35%. So you can basically see the broadband penetration in your country. And this is another Southeast Asia ranking mobile fixed broadband in April 2022. So Indonesia is number 8, fixed broadband, and Malaysia number 3 and 6 in mobile internet and fixed broadband. Okay, so here are some of the articles about the digital equity. Okay, maybe this is the one that I should focus more, learn from the US. The data divide, and this United States access to many public and private services. And I went to the University of Houston, Victoria. It's because the study is about rural internet connectivity, so the best place for me to study is basically at University of Houston, Victoria. And I do lots of community engagement in my research, and I interview quite a lot of lecturers regarding the internet connectivity. So surprisingly, I found that why internet is very important in rural area, not only for education, but also to keep the economy going, and also to monitor some of the water level, especially in Texas. And I was linked to Connected Nation project from my host to know more about the behind of this project. And then I found out it's quite fascinating, because without this connection, I won't be able to fully complete my project. And someone said that if you explore Texas, you basically learn about broadband for another 32 states in the United States. How many states in the United States, you know? Yes, 50. And Hawaii is number 50. Okay, right. Okay, so this is the network summit that I attended in San Antonio, and that is lots of people from funder and so on. And these are the meeting that we had in Washington, D.C. And these are the university that I visited throughout my 4 months engagement in Fulbright. So it's all over US. And here are some of the pictures that we had. So my personal experience, I visited some, if you are in the US, the best part is you should make a visit to their national park. The visit not only to see the national park, but like I said, that I am fascinated about signals. So every time I will measure signals. So whether there's a signal or not, so these are the visited places. Okay, just look at that pin. So I went Seattle, Portland, Denver, Las Vegas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, New York, Buffalo, and yeah, that's it. Throughout 4 months, yeah, I plan. So here are some of the, we joined the university students walkabout in one of the national park. And Texas are very famous with their wildflowers, so I took a picture, but be careful because there might be snake or something by the roadside. So these are, Victoria are famous for their old buildings. And my daughter really enjoy her schoolmates where they have this cowboy carnival, okay, like in the movie, so that is real. So also, that's Alan, our Uber driver, and she's very nice, and the schoolmates. And that's the taxi driver, the Walmart worker, so many. Okay, that's some pictures with the bus driver as well I took, because he's so kind. He knew us because almost every 2 weeks we will go in another state. Okay, tips for scholars. Scholars can find accommodation using online marketplace such as Airbnb. School for children, seek for the needed specifics and call the school for procedure, because every state have different procedures. And before going to the US, you have to seek a lot of information. For Muslim, it's a little bit difficult. For example, I am in Victoria, and I need to get my halal chicken from Houston. Houston is about like 2 hours from my place, but I contacted the imam of the mosque, and he has been very helpful to to order for me. I took a lot of pictures. To date, I have about like almost 15,000 pictures in my Fulbright. Yes, I do a lot of take. Don't know why, but I love it. So manage your allowance wisely, because if you bring children, Fulbright will not sponsor for that, but it can be managed. Do explore other university and state, because this is the only opportunity that you have. Get to know local communities and attend any event. My own project involved lots of communities, and my training with International Telecommunication Union pretty much prepared me with how to communicate with different nationalities. So keep an eye of your finance. Again, I went to Victoria, which is a very car dependent, and if you are on the right-hand side drive, I mean the car, so it's a little bit challenging, but you can learn about it. So Texas is the second largest state after Alaska, so it's huge. It's so huge, and for you to understand Texas, if you're going to Texas, then you need to learn about Alamo first. It's the history behind Texas. And another thing, in case of refund, it's better to pay using credit card rather than cash. So after the Fulbright U.S. ASEAN impact, I would like to document my Fulbright experience because it's so many things that I would like to write about it. I was appointed as the department chair right after Fulbright, and this make my job so easy because of the connection that I have with the U.S. So I can call the professor, invite the professor as the external examiner, and I have secured a research to extend my project, and I learned about the culture. My daughter had a good school experience. She has this thought that if she ever get the opportunity to study in the US, she already selected which state that she's going to. So I've learned how to commercialize my research as well. And the visit and the connection, the last one, I appreciate the history, diversity, but most importantly that I like the way how Texas really appreciate their wildflowers collection. They even have a library specifically for wildflower. And one of the first lady from Texas, she sort of like designed the dinner plate based on the wildflower of Texas. So that is really amazing. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Ahida. All right, so now we move on to the Q&A portion of the program. So if you have any questions about, their experience in the US, their Fulbright experience, how to apply for scholarships, any tips that they have for you, feel free to type it if you're online or raise your hand if you're in person here. So while we wait for the questions to come in, I have one question for all of you. So the first question is, a lot of people maybe have not visited the States before, right? So I think that's true for, especially Andre, because you mentioned it in your presentation. So what was the first impression of the US that you got? And what was perhaps the most surprising thing about the US throughout your stay over there? Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, thank you for the question. The most surprising things when I arrived in the US, I think the temperature. Yeah, the temperature. Because we know that Bali is so hot, right? Yeah. When the American people ask me about the temperature in Bali, and I will say hot and hotter. Yeah, we only have two seasons, hot and hotter. But the temperature in the US, especially because I go to the US when it's fall, late fall, it's really, really cold. And I need to adapt with the temperature. And actually, I bring my coat from Indonesia, but I think it's not working. Yeah, we need to buy a new coat in the US because maybe they design it special for the winter. Yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have anything to add to that question?
The first time I was in the U.S., I'm in my 50s, so the most of my engagement, I grew up in an environment where the Philippines and the nationalists in the Philippines are all condemning the United States being the imperialist U.S. So a lot of my professional engagement really are with the European countries as well as Southeast Asian countries. So the Fulbright actually changed my impression about the U.S., the government, the policies, as well as the people. So I think that's what. It's not really shocking, but that's what remained in my mind. The second thing, perhaps about the United States, is they're very helpful. I think compare that, for instance, the first time I was in Korea, when I asked for directions, this was before the K-drama event, the K-drama explosion. No? People are not very used to people speaking English. So when I asked for directions, they would run away from me. No? But in the United States, no, every time that you ask for help, any kind of help, they will somehow, find ways on how to extend, assistance to you. So I think that's actually something that I find very positive in the U.S.
One thing about US that of course, there are so many things. I like the way that, sometimes we have some crazy ideas where we are the only one who believe this idea, but we are a little bit like reserved to put that out because we're so scared about what is the perception of others. But in the US, if you talk to the people in the community, for example, they will support. They say, why don't you just go for it? Then I said, oh yeah, why not? So I like this kind of encouragement.
On that note, don't forget to raise your hands, to ask questions, to practice that over here, okay?
Yeah, for me, I can say that U.S. Is not for U.S., but it's like a diverse because there are multi nationalities there. We have white, black, ASEAN, from Africans, but we live together safely during 4 months I was there. I have done that. That is the things that U.S. has been doing so far. How diversity that can live together peacefully. Even there's some, me have some incidents, but they have the ways that they can protect the community. That is what I have learned from that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just one. In DC, everyone, because this was post-COVID, in DC, everyone was masking. And then I visited my sister in Texas, nobody was wearing a mask. So it's a very, very vast contrast, of two states. It was post-COVID. People are still very concerned about Delta, but in Texas, you are the exception if you're wearing the mask.
Yeah, so the US is really huge, it's really diverse, and it's a really interesting place to visit, to study, and to work in. So we have some questions that come from online. So this question is from Alida Mazaya, and the question is, oops. Oh, the iPad hung on me, hold on. Okay, as an alumni, what do you think are the biggest privileges when you got accepted into the Fulbright program?
I think the network, because the network is such a huge, and we were just discussing yesterday. Number one, the level of scholarship is really very, very excellent, and then the amount of brain power that you bring to the room. No, if you have people who have been accepted in Fulbright. And then you have immediately a network of people, not just in your region, but in the entire world. I think that is the best contribution that you will get if you get into the program.
Okay. For me, maybe it's the same, the network and also the opportunities. Yeah, because after I get this program, I have my supervisor to collaborate with. So we collaborate in so many research, and also I can publish my research in one of international journal, and that really helped me in promoting me to become an associate professor. Yeah, a lot of things actually.
It's one of the most prestigious scholarship and program, so you don't need to explain much about it. Like the moment that you put the badge, you put on your LinkedIn, Fulbright something, so it's a really recognized, it's really kind of like a scholarship that is being recognized worldwide. So people have this sort of know the quality of a Fulbrighties. That's very important actually.
Yeah. For me, I have done about Fulbright since I was at university. I know through the activity of the U.S. Embassy to Vientiane. Those informations can be by us from the alumni as well when they have more activity every year and more people from our country go to USA. That is the things that we have done. And when we know more about Fulbright, then we feel more privileged to the program. And I hope the young here will have opportunity, more opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just very quickly, I just don't want you to get the impression that Fulbright is only for personal benefit. Of course, it really improved us a lot, no, in terms of our network, in terms of the, the stature that you generate when you say that you're Fulbright. But it also allows you to give back to your own country because the network that we bring with us, the information, the knowledge that we generate as Fulbright scholars, we bring that back to our country and we contribute to the development of our country, no matter how small. No? So I think that is the bigger picture of the Fulbright. It benefits the individual, but there's a rippling effect, no, you contribute back to the development of your respective countries.
I think you said that really, really well. And that is the reason why the US government sponsors so many different exchange programs so that all of you can benefit both personally, professionally, and then also give back to your home countries and your home community. So thank you for that statement. It was really powerful. So a related question from Farida online. Can you give us tips on how to get accepted into the Fulbright program?
I can start. Okay. Because I have some experience of applying international grant, I noticed that I collect a lot of pictures because I don't need to write much in my proposal. I just need to set the objective and why you're doing that, problem statement and so on. And then the rest you supply with pictures that shows you have done the groundwork. You really, if you want to apply for any sponsorship, you really have to do the groundwork yourself. You cannot pass that to other people to do that for you because there are certain things that there are certain things that they are not in the textbook. Prime information usually come from a direct contact and direct interview with the subjects that you want to study.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to add?
For me, there was one story that undergraduate student asked me. She offered one scholarship to study one countries, and then I recommended him that if you win that countries, maybe you learn only one language, but if you attended the National University of Laos, and then you participated in activity that university offers, or activity, or even from the international organizations that provide to the university, you just attend. That is how you can save yourself for your background. I mean, how your background will be added to your application. When you have what we say, good background, that is the foundations of what you are going to be accepted. And then finally, he decided not to go there and attended university in Laos and started to study English by himself and did some activity in Laos. And now he became the junior staff at the UN house in Laos and win some countries more and more. Yeah, that is the story.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add?
Okay. Yes. Maybe I will say, don't limit yourself. Yeah. I have a motto that say that you are your only limit, because I believe that our biggest limit is ourselves. Sometimes we are too much to judge ourselves that we cannot do something. I think if you want to try to apply the Fulbright program, you just need to apply it. Don't think about the result, and don't be afraid to apply the Fulbright program. It's nothing to lose. And I think if you fail, it's just part of your process. So I think that's the most important thing. Just try it, just do it, and just apply it. Don't be afraid.
I don't have a direct experience in selecting for grants, but I do have experience in accepting papers on conferences or publication. And usually what we look for always is if this research will contribute to knowledge, to expanding the knowledge about this particular field, or it will contribute to the improvement of a community. So I guess when you develop your research, make sure that it will either expand the knowledge or deepen or a particular discipline or a particular topic, or it will improve the condition of a particular sector or community. I think that will be good plus points, no, in evaluating the research proposals.
Great. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? Oh, over there.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Shaka, and I just want to ask about how's your journey to going to US, especially with the language, because maybe there's a lot of people want to go to US, but afraid with the language barrier. So, how's your preparation or tips and trick to manage your anxiety and your anxious feeling to speak in English in daily basis? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a really great question.
I will go first. I think that's the inferior, sometimes non-English speakers, or if our language is the first language is not English, we have a tendency to feel inferior with the way that we express ourselves. But the reality is that in the US, they are also not perfect English speakers. For as long as you can express yourself, regardless of whether your grammar is correct or not, forget about it. The important thing is that you are able to express your ideas, you're able to express yourself, you'll survive.
Yes, I have the same opinion with Jennifer, because at the end of the day, language is all about understanding, right? As long as the people that you talk to understand what you say, I think it will be safe. Yeah, it will be good. It will be fine, and you will learn in the process. Your English will improve when you get to the US, when you live in the US. Yeah, that's all.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, for me, I just say that English is not the owner of English is not America or UK, but the owner of the speakers. That is the owner of English is the speaker. That means you are the speaker of English as well, and you are the owner of the language. English they have four skills. So if you read more, you know more, and then if you write more, you will, from your eye you can see, and from your thought, deep thought, you can feel. That is the way you can learn for what we say writing skill, and then one day you will have more input. Every day you start to practice yourself, and then you will never shy again, and you will gain more and more through the fourth skill, what we say deceptive skill, and then productive skill. Deceptive skill, just read all what you like and what you your aims going to reach. For example, what your goal is, reach it, and then try to feel it, and then do it. That is for skill. For productive skill, if you are shy to speak, no worry, just write more. Maybe you write on the block of yourself, and write. The more you write, you will see how mistake and things that you can correct by yourself. Yeah.
So basically what I'm hearing from all of them is practice makes perfect, and just be fearless and just go for it. Yeah. So we are almost at the end of the program, but do we have any last questions from the audience? Yeah, over here.
So I have two questions. Is it fine if I ask two, or am I only allowed
Sure,
to ask
sure.
one? Yeah. Okay.
Be
Okay.
fearless, yeah.
Thank you. I'm applying what I've learned in the seminar. Yeah. Be fearless. Okay. So first question. I actually know. My name is Bestoto Feninan, but my friends usually refer to me as Josh simply. So first question. Were there any particular reasons that you chose to apply in the Fulbright program as opposed to other scholarship programs? For example, maybe not limited to the United States, maybe somewhere in Europe. Yeah, please answer first.
You're a little
Sorry.
demanding.
Oh, sorry. I'm so nervous.
Okay, Fulbright because of the stature, because of the network of scholars in the program. That's what attracted me. That's why I applied.
For me, because of the mathematics. Yeah, for sure. Because America has the NCTM. NCTM is just like the biggest mathematic organization in the world, and America is also my dream. So I choose to go to America, and Fulbright is the best way to go to America.
Why Fulbright?
Why Fulbright and not other scholarships?
Why Fulbright? I've been trying to apply for Fulbright since 2017. So I knew that I really want to get this sponsorship, scholarship. And one more thing is I have studied about telecommunication in several countries, but not yet in the United States. So that's drive me a lot to basically apply this one.
You want to hear from me too? Yeah. For me, because I have been to Japan for master. Yeah, it's a scholarship as well, what we call JDS, and also Japan they have more scholarship for ASEAN as well, for you, and European as well. They have more scholarship for Europe ASEAN chair. That is from the corporations. And why I apply for Fulbright? I want to see what I have never seen. That is the things that I want to learn. Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, thank you. So you have one last question, right?
Yes,
Maybe
one
we'll
more
just do a
question.
rapid round after you ask the question.
Okay. So the question is more related to us students. So as I'm aware, I think Mr. Andre is the youngest amongst all the speakers, 32 or something? 31, yeah. What I want to ask is that, as you've all stated, the Fulbright Scholarship Program provides basically a possibility for people to study in the US. It covers a lot of costs. But you still said that there's something like accommodation, food, etc., etc. Are there any tips that you can share with us students that would make it a possibility for us to apply for the Fulbright program or any other scholarship programs sooner? Because I feel like as students, we don't really have much of a financial leeway to take a look at these scholarship programs as a possibility. They're just potential opportunities. Thank you.
I think because the Fulbright, and maybe it was our mistake, the program that we are discussing here is the U.S. ASEAN Scholar, and this is really for the senior researchers. But the Fulbright also has programs for MA students. It also has programs for PhD, and I think Diane is here. They also have a program for young leaders, something. No, there are a lot of programs that you can apply for. I think the young leaders is what is most interesting for you. So the program that we are discussing here are the programs that we experience, but it's not the only program in Fulbright. There are more than so many opportunities there.
Yeah, so like she mentioned, the youth program is called the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. So it's for young people in ASEAN aged 18 to 35. There are various different scholarship options. So for example, you can get sponsored to attend a regional workshop on something that is of interest to you, for example, climate change or environmental conservation, something like that. There are also academic fellowships for you to head to the States for 5 to 6 weeks. So that you can experience the US for yourself. There are also professional fellowships for those in the slightly older age bracket, 25 and above. And yeah, so if you're interested in all these opportunities to go to the US, you are very welcome to go to US ASEAN, their website, US Mission to ASEAN's website. And for those online, you can also, sorry, for the, so for those online, what she just mentioned is that there is a booth on the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative outside this room. So those who are on site are very welcome to ask their questions over there. And I think with that, we will conclude the session. Thank you so much for asking your questions. And thank you so much to the speakers for presenting and for answering all those questions. So thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much to our wonderful moderator and speakers for such an insightful discussion. Earlier in this event, we had the question of the day for our online audience. And the question was, when was the Fulbright program first established? And the answer is in 1946. So congratulations to Musalino from Instagram for getting the correct answer. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about Fulbright and all our other programs, you can follow our social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at AT America. And with that, my name is Aldi Rashid, and from the entire At America team, thank you and see you next time.